Hello, friends. So, I have a bit of a story to talk to you about as we get logged into the day spring 27, 28, and summer 1 of year 1 for the walkthrough, part 12. And you can see I've played this a few times. That was more testing though. You may notice there's several changes and differences in this playthrough than there was in the walkthrough just before. And it's been a while since I've put out another portion of the walkthrough. Part of the problem was that I have had a unfortunate incident with my Switch. My Switch, it was the original first generation Switch. I got it on pre-order when the Switch first came out, and I'd just been playing it for years and years and years. Well, eventually the battery bulged, it popped the back off, the back panel popped away from the rest of it, and I couldn't get it to power on. So I wasn't able to secure, long story short, my save from the walkthrough didn't carry over because it was not backed up online. I was hoping that once I could afford an upgraded or a new Switch, which we were looking into eventually, that I would be able to do the transfer between the two. Well, when my Switch started having problems, we did get it to turn on for a short while, but it still wouldn't let me. It wasn't stable enough for me to get that walkthrough pushed over, and it was an offline walkthrough rather than the cloud service because it wasn't online. My main playthrough was online, but for some reason it couldn't verify my account or something, so it didn't have my full playthrough. It only had through the middle of summer of year 1, and I was much farther than that on my original playthrough. You might have noticed in some of my tutorials. So we are going to have several differences in this game compared to the previous playthrough, but I was very careful at not triggering any scenarios that you haven't seen already. So all of the new scenes should be new ones. They won't be rehashing existing scenes. The problems that we've run into is that I have not been very conscientious about planting tomatoes and onions, which we are needed for the recipes for the Big Fish Festival, which is basically a date festival where you have dinner on the beach with your chosen friend or potential spouse. As you can see, I have a lot more recipes. I spent a little more time gathering money. We've been focused on the gaming portion and moving the storyline along in this playthrough. So I haven't been as good at making sure that we manage money. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to go over, since we have unlocked Lily Kala and all of the bridges are repaired, it doesn't have to be when the fence comes, or the wall comes down. It just has to be when this little bridge right here is repaired. There is an area that you can go to fish on that doesn't require the master fishing pole, and I just go there once a day just to gather a bunch of fish for purposes of increasing money. It's not the best fishing spot that there is in the game, but for us to fish, say, the golden carp or the nidhogg without needing a bunch of bait, which if we're going after those fish. Bait's fine, but even with the bait, they're not easy to catch. So it's best to have at least the master rod when going off after those two. This is one of the areas that it is pretty easy to fish the smaller fish with, and one of the smaller fish is the best paying fish off of the dock. So you can average about 4,000 a day. If you're lucky, you'll get more. If you're unlucky, you'll get less, but it's generally about 4,000 a day just by fishing from this spot one time per day. Now, there is currently a way where you can fish your fish, and then when it's empty, save. Just go into the menu and save, then reload that exact save. You'll still have the fish that you caught, and you have a chance of having your fish respawn. They won't always be the same fish, and you can fish whatever's there again, but rather than spending all day fishing, saving and off-saving over and over again, what I do is I just go once a day and spread it out over a long period of time as I'm focusing on other things, which will allow us to do things like upgrade our tools, afford things that are necessary for furniture or taking care of purchasing new animals, that type of thing. And this is just one of the ways that I do that. Doesn't look like they are interested without me putting it right on top of them. Now maybe we'll catch one. So on this dock, what we're hoping to catch is the saffron cod. It is the highest paying one. Even at 0 stars, we get over 2,000 for it. A pollock is also good. Cod is the least paying of them, just a regular cod, not a saffron cod. That's the big fish that we generally see here. They're only 550, which is still not a bad thing. So the pollock are going to be over 1,000 each. So still, even if we don't catch a saffron cod and we have both of these are pollock, it's still worthwhile. And once we've caught 2 of these, we'll go and finish doing the rest of our... Oh, I should have gotten right in front of his face. Alright, so I'll be a little more patient, wait till it actually shows the hook is ready. So one thing that we're going to start including in our daily chores, we're going to take care of all of our farms, but it's also time for us to release our horse and move on to the next horse. Now, some people prefer other horses. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to... These zebra are not a bad choice. I know people that will just tame a zebra and that will be it until the end game. There's one more statue down here, but we are actually heading toward where the wall was blocking us off. So I just want to get a closer statue point that's outside of this stormy area. And since we've dropped the wall from Lily Kala, we can start taming a white horse, which has all the same drawbacks as all of the horses. They still slow way down if it's too cold or too hot, but the white horse is very much faster than the brown horse. So we will come back from here and see, you can see this little entryway right here was blocked by the Lily Kala wall, so you can't do this until you drop that wall. But then we're going to go and get this one. We're going to go down here. I think this is all just coast, so most of this area down here is water. So we're just going to go here and then get this one, and eventually we'll end here because the white horse that we're going to tame is right underneath it. Now, right now we still need to go take care of our Lechtenberry farm. The other thing that we want to do, aside from taming our white horse, taking him a treat every day, I believe the white horse favorites are, at least the one from there, is apples, turnips, and pumpkin. At least the last one that I tamed there, that's what its favorite likes were. And we have plenty of turnips. I just wanted to show you here, we have unlocked some of these master tools. The more important ones to upgrade are going to be the axe, the hammer, and the pickaxe. So those are the ones we're going to focus on. But you can see down here, we've got a bunch more things that Doc can process for us. Look at the price just on processing tanzanite. So that's one of the end game gems, and we've started unlocking here. And that's just from the culture level of Lechtenberry. I tried to keep them similar so that it wasn't a big shock between the two, but there's going to be differences. You can see I've just barely got the little bit of a star into the 4th, and I think we actually were a little farther ahead in the last walkthrough. One thing we're going to start focusing on when it comes to replanting, we're going to need to put away some of our crops so that we can pick those up. We want to start planting things that could get us hybrids. The hybrids improve the amount of money that we make back from farming by about 3-fold, because for each hybrid it's approximately 3 times the if you're selling the original plant. So say for this gold silver corn, if we sold the fodder corn as well, we'd be making 3 times if we were just selling the fodder corn. We'll probably need that, so I'm just going to put these away for now. We'll sell this one. I'm going to go ahead and grab our turnip though. And, oh, we need some seeds to plant there. There's several crops in every season that we can plant to try to get hybrids. Now, one of them we've already gotten several times is the marguerites. Those, we already have several seeds that we've gotten in the past. Let's see, do we have any right now? So a gold band lily, that is one of the DLC. It can hybridize as well. So we will plant one of those. We might go and buy a few more. The pineapple and the zucchini can also hybridize. So all of these seeds are free seeds that we've just picked up either through having the DLC. After you hit certain culture points, then Nemo sends you crops, and in Lily Kala there is, now I've forgotten her name. She's the one that puts together the fishing face-off, which we will have to talk to her about setting up here after we finish the Big Fish Festival. Now, we do need to plant at least 1 tomato, preferably 2, and at least 1 onion. So I'm just going to run and grab an onion seed, since there's one right down this road that is fairly easy to catch. So here's our onion seed guy. Now we have 2 onion seed. I'm going to grab another fodder corn because we don't want to run out of food for all of our barn animals. And then before we head back to our farm to plant the onion and this tomato that I'm about to pick up, I need to make more of an effort to talk to the sprites. I tend to ignore the people once I get enough of a culture level that they don't really give bonuses for it as much. So we have a few spots that are open here that we can plant our tomato and our onion seeds in, which is why I wanted to grab them before we came back. So we can plant both of these onion seeds. The tomato regrows, so we will be able to also get one tomato, and we'll go ahead and put the fodder corn in. Let's sell our fish so you can see how much they're worth. The pollock with no star is 1,650, with 1 star is 2,400, and the cod is that 550 for no star. We're also going to throw in this silver corn. We can keep the carrots and the mushrooms for now, but let's see if we can open up our map some. We're going to try to at least get to where we won't make it before the horse is gone, because the horse is only going to be there until 7. But we needed to make sure that we planted enough tomatoes and onions that we would be able to harvest them sooner rather than later. We already caught enough of the tuna to finish the ahi poke, and I made a point in this walkthrough to make sure I had enough sea bass and tuna to be able to take care of both recipes so we can get our big fish festival opened up. That enables us to then start focusing on the fish face-off. This bridge is already fixed, so we don't have to fix it. However, if you were coming down from Providence down this way, there is a bridge that you have to fix right over here, which is why I waited till we took down the wall, because we're saving our wood to fix up the towns first. And once we do that, it unlocks so that we can upgrade our axe, and then gathering wood is not nearly the chore it is right now. Instead of it taking like 12 hits to fell a tree, it only takes 6, I believe, with the first upgrade and 3 with the second upgrade, if I remember correctly. Huge difference. Much better for what we're trying to do. So what we're doing here is we're going to stay close to the... If you look over there, it's all water, but we're going to stay close to the mountains here. And I'm just going to put a waypoint next to the statue. That way we can see where we need to veer off from the edge of this cliff. Once we open up the map, getting that goddess statue, which is, for down here, it's going to be all lower areas. You don't want to climb up or you're going to get stuck in an area. So what we're going to do is, since we found this one, this opened up this whole area, we're going to move our waypoint next to this one. And I'm going to put it just slightly behind it. So now that we have a map, you can see we're going to go this way, up here, down through here, because you can't make it through this area. And then we have to go back up and then through here so that we can get into this area. So if you have trouble finding your way in here, you're not the only one. I've had to play through this a few times, which is why I had that test save on there, just to be able to feel comfortable navigating over to the white horse so that I could show you without having to backtrack a bunch. Oh, yeah, so this one we're going to go up into the, like we're going up above the cliff, and that's just because both of these get stuck and we can't cross over unless we go this way, which is higher up. The other one ends in a dead end, the lower path. For the most part, you're going to be lower path, except that one little spot, and luckily the map is open for it. So for this area, to get into where the goddess statue is, we're mostly going to be... There's some foxes there. Staying low and close to the cliffs. And that's just so that we don't get stuck in dead ends. So you know you're going the right direction when you find some coffee bean trees. Those San Marzano tomatoes will be good for us to plant in Herbstburg when we open up that town, because they will mutate into sun tomatoes, but only in the autumn area. Okay, so now we've opened up this area. The white horse is going to be over here. Now, it's after 7 p.m., so the white horse is not here. But under this big boulder, where the white horse will be, is one of the golden wisps. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't grab too many extra golden wisps, so you'd see where they all are for the fruit. So I'm pretty sure that the ones that I've collected are ones that you've seen in the previous walkthroughs. If you have any questions about it, or if there's one that you see a fruit for but you don't know how I got it, please let me know and I'll be happy to explain it out. Now, if you ever want to get into this area, you cannot come down from here. You cannot come down from here. You have to start from over here or go down here and do the bridge down to here. And you're going to be basically walking like a spiral. So from here, you go up into this area and then get this one, which will then allow you into this area, which you're going to basically walk around it like a big spiral, get that one, and then you have to walk around the outside of a bunch of waterfalls to get that one, and then eventually it'll curve in and you can get into here. It'll also turn into a plateau up here. That's going to be the future site of Vern Village. So if you ever have trouble getting into that area, just remember, it's a big spiral for you to get in. And it's not going to go into this area. It might cut off the corner a little bit, but really you're going to go up here and then immediately it's going to dump you into this area. It's all cliffside areas and fairly confusing. But it's late, so we're going to go home. But now that we've opened up the map over to here, we'll be able to start taming the horse starting tomorrow. We'll be able to go up from here to start making our way up this way to Herbstburg, which is going to be right here is the music center goddess statue. So that's going to be how we're going to do our next few days. Now we've unlocked where that horse is going to be. We've already planted our tomatoes. I'm kind of tempted to plant those San Marzano ones, just so we have, because you can use those to make ahi poke as well. They're substitutions for the regular tomatoes. But a little bit of patience never hurt anybody. Let's go ahead and make some coffee with the coffee beans we got. And I think we picked up some... Nope. We want coconut milk. We picked up a few of these, so we will make those as well. Now we have hot and cold protection. Let's see, what should we put away? We'll just put all of this away for right now. We'll decide what seeds we need when we know how many we need. As you can see, we still have a fair amount of wood. This is going to continue getting whittled away, especially when we open up Herbstburg, because just like every other town, we're going to need all of that wood to fix it up. So let's go ahead and save our game. In spite of having very stormy weather where it won't let you bring out your animals to graze, if you were to ride the horse in it, it tends to be very slow and hard. So I generally don't use it that day because I still have to get it in the barn every night. And this is why we don't pick up and move our fences every time we move. One, so that we have more options for fields, different seasons we can plant in, but also because we get free gifts from the goddess whenever there's a storm, as long as we leave a fully fenced in area to protect it. Now, I have heard some people have fenced off through a center of a field. Generally, you don't get rewarded for that, so I don't do it. I don't know if it actually helps in protecting your fields. I've heard it goes both ways, where it might give some protection, where if you're only planting on part of the field, because some of the fields get very, very large. I just prefer to fence in the whole thing. So there's our almost 5,000 that we got for yesterday. And we'll go ahead and throw in some glass gem corn there. Now, even though we can't let our animals out to graze today, we can take the horse out because he will be traveling at normal speeds. Even though we're going to be having rain in the area. So it looks like our cow is finally fully grown and we're starting to collect milk from it. So now we can start making our own butter without having to cycle through the requests through Judy. I think where we're at right now, we can also get a new type of chicken. So I think maybe today we will, after we do our fishing and put our fish away, I think we should go to Lechtenberry and see if we can get the next type of chicken, because I think we've unlocked that with the most recent update to the stars. We'll check. If not, it's fine. We've got 3 medium-sized fish. I think they're all pollock, just looking at their size. Saffron cod is just a slight smaller size. Not that I'm complaining. Even if they're all just no starfish, that's 1,650 for 3 fish, and it won't take us very long if I can manage to get my hook in the right areas. I think we should be able to get Herbstburg unlocked in this walkthrough part. So we will meet the white horse. I don't think, especially since we didn't make it there before it left yesterday, that we will tame it during this part of the walkthrough. But I think we might be able to unlock Herbstburg. Now, when you get let go of an animal, you're releasing it into the wild. It will maintain its name. Any of the wild ones that you've caught will maintain its name. You can retame it again, bring it back to your barn once you have more room for it, like if you've gotten a barn upgrade or whatever. Oh, I should have been more patient. That would have caught it. Anyway, it will, you won't have to tell which one is the one that you tamed either. It will show you its name. Not that I necessarily will want to go back to the brown horse once we have the faster horse. And the faster horse is not going to be our ending mount either. This is mostly to give us a chance to have a faster horse that we can compete with at the equestrian challenge with enough time to build up enough of rapport with or a bond, I guess, with the white horse in order to have it run faster. You don't need necessarily the white horse for the beginner race. It's nice to have for some of the other races if you don't take the time and then upgrade to, say, the raptor would be my next preference for a mount after the white horse. Because the white horse, it walks really slowly whenever you try to walk it in, say, the Zimgrad region or the volcano or the desert. So I prefer the raptor because it doesn't slow down ever, not even in storms. So regardless of how badly it's storming, the raptor's just as fast. And it's much faster than this horse. I think it's faster than the white horse too. But comparatively, the white horse is much faster than the one that we used as our starter horse. Now we've got some extra room here. I think maybe I will... There is a rare guy here that gives tomato seeds. And on any mount, you are just fast enough that you don't have to climb off and sneak over to it for seeds. You do need to if you are trying to pet something, but as long as you're hitting the speak button for the Switch, it's the A, you're fast enough that even when it's running away, you can catch up to it before it disappears. So that's another reason why having a mount is so nice. And let's very quickly... Oh. I like to keep fulfilling Judy's requests because she goes 1 gold, 3 silver, and then 10 glass. When she gives you the glass, and it's in that order too, in a cycle as far as I've seen. Every time she asks for glass, it's an easy thing to come up with, and she generally will give us a bunch of milk. Wow, that was pretty good. We got 4 gold silver corn with our fodder corn. So that's going to be plenty that we'll be able to give back into feeding our animals. I've played this day a few times, but I've been battling audio issues since switching to the new Switch. Which was expensive and not something that I really could have afforded at the time, but it's one of those things. If I wanted to continue on doing this, I had to make some decisions about debt. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to head north from that from the Moon Viewing Woods warp point. We're going to head up this way. There's going to be one warp point that looks like we can collect it. And we can. It just requires climbing a mountain, which isn't high on the priority. The top of the mountain has a few things that are useful, including the location of the golden carp that pops up there occasionally. But since we don't need it this very moment, and right now I am just trying to open up my map enough that we can get to Herbstburg tomorrow. Oh, I should have grabbed my fence building items. I'm pretty sure we're going to need... Yeah, I think this is the one we can't continue through because there's a bridge right here, and that's the one up in the mountain. So before dock closes, let me grab, I think it's bronze and material stone, board lumber, or maybe it's square lumber and board lumber. I'll just grab it all and have Doc make us some more bronze because I think I don't have very much bronze left. Yeah, only one that's processed, so let's have him process the rest. And I really don't remember. I should have written down what's required. Maybe I'll grab the lumber too, because I don't remember what I need to fix this bridge. It's been a while. Alright, let's go have Doc process some stuff for us. And then instead of the Moon Viewing Woods, we will warp a little bit closer and then head up to that broken bridge. It's the only broken bridge we will need to fix in order to get to Herbstburg. There is no straight across direction that we have to go. It is a lot more exploring the area and figuring out how to get to the Herbstburg area. I think we're set now. Okay, let's give this a try. I'm pretty sure it is bronze, board lumber, and material stone, but I am very doubting myself right now. So we're going to head back up this way. There's that little fox. The foxes will gather ore for you, and I think gems. I think it is ferrets that do... One does ore, one does gems, and I can't remember if it's the fox or the... Oh, material stone, square lumber, and bronze. Good thing I grabbed all of it. Oh, we needed 2 more material stone. Oh, well, let's head back to docks. Let's see. I'm sure there's going to be a rock we can hit near docks. We only need 2. I really should have looked that up. I am sorry. Luckily, Doc has this conveniently placed rock, and we only need the 2. Let's catch him before he closes. I am sorry. I thought I would be more prepared for the bridge. I did play this a few days ago, and my memory is not as good as it could be, apparently. All right. Now, let's see if we can build a bridge. The nice thing is, as soon as we hit the other side of the bridge, there's the goddess statue, so it will open up the map, and then I will show you the path that we are going to take. We may even get there today, which will be pretty funny because it'll be the middle of the night and we'll be interacting with one of the next love interests. Oh, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkins are good to grow in the autumn area in Herbstburg as well. I think that seed is different during the day. Growing pumpkin inside the Herbstburg area in fall in the flatlands, or by using fall fertilizer. And if I remember right, somebody keeps asking for white mushrooms. That's another DLC, the Edelweiss. Walnuts are required to make the high quality lumber. So they are highly useful. All right. Enough distraction. So what we're going to do, in fact, I think I was going... So technically we're going to be going this way, but we're going to head up this way, and instead of hitting this one, we're going to go all the way over here. And then from here, then we head over this way, and then we hit this one. Actually, I think this one is on the other side of a broken bridge. So if we do hit this one, if we continue on the road to get this one, there's a broken bridge, so we can't get across it without wasting materials that we're going to need to fix the town. So up here is our ultimate goal. We have to go around an area that is locked out due to the cliffs, as well as the... Here, we're going to just unlock this perch really quick. There's cliffs and there's the Herbstburg wall, so we have to angle ourselves so that we're hitting where the sprite's located. Otherwise, we will not be able to open up the gap in the wall. Any other part of the wall may have the symbol on it, but it won't have that crack where they can remove the bottom half so that you can get into and out of the town before the wall is brought down all the way. See, and you can see just following the path is going to take us straight to this statue. Now, it's going to make it look like we want to continue on that direction with the statue. We do not. It was just a few steps out of how we were supposed to be going, but I wanted to grab it to open up the map. This time, instead of heading along the coast, we're going back inland, but a little farther north. We don't need to fix that bridge. Not at this point anytime. It's useful for, I think there are some kind of fruit trees there, maybe olives or walnuts, I think. But it's not necessary in order to progress the storyline or to open up Herbstburg. Now, Herbstburg does not have a traveling merchant. So instead of having to do the butter, fried egg, and baguettes, in Herbstburg we just have to unlock their festivals. And there is a music festival and a mining festival. The mining is a competition. The music festival is another one of the date scenarios where you can choose somebody to go on a date with. So, and we finally made it here to Herbstburg. Now, once we get into Herbstburg, there is another area that we can fish for snakehead fish. There is a beach right off of the Music Square in Herbstburg that has the snakehead fish in it. They're worth the same as the saffron cod. So, if you really need money, what you could do is you could hit that area next to the dock and then go to the beach next to the Music Square in Herbstburg, fish in there. And if you have your master pole, you can go to the hilltop pond and catch a golden carp. And then if it's raining in the oasis area, you could try for the nidhogg in the rainbow drop pond. There's another place in the desert that you can catch the nidhogg in as well. He's the highest paying fish in the game. It's one that I've never personally caught because every time I've looked for him, I haven't had the right conditions, so he never popped up. But just catching him a few times can help you when you're trying to earn that 100,000 to upgrade your house, or the 70,000 to upgrade your barn, and that is only the first upgrade. There is a second upgrade after that that's even more difficult, but you do need both upgrades to the house if you want to get married. And the barn, if you get it upgraded, you can keep more animals, but I've heard if you fill up that barn with all of the animals, that it makes it very difficult because you are cleaning up compost all day, every day. And that's all you're doing is petting animals and cleaning compost, and there isn't much time for anything else, especially once you have a baby until the baby turns into the child. Now, I wanted to call the white horse Ghost Pepper so that all my horses could be peppers of some sort, but that's too long. The game has length restrictions on the name, and that doesn't fit, so... When I was little, my mom would do the double braids that the main female character wears and braid them together behind my head, and she did that for my sisters as well. And I did have bangs at the time, so there's a lot of nostalgia in the hairstyle that you don't get a choice in if you want to play a girl. From me. I always thought Arnold was a little over dramatic because the music for this town is supposedly a part of the central culture for Herbstburg. So him loving music doesn't feel like to me that it would be a culturally changed thing in 10 years. Granted, if all of your musicians were on the other side of the wall, then I could understand that. I don't bother riding the horse when we're just chasing him because it's just running around in a big circle. This town is fairly confusing as a layout. We only have to catch up to him one more time though. So I'll take red at this point. The nice thing is once we get him started on his quest, it's a 7-day wait before we can continue on unlocking the town, which is why I wanted to get here and get that process started. Hopefully we have the things that he needs just in my pockets. If not, we can come back tomorrow and round out what he needs. So Tori is the one that we need for the mining meet. It is a competition mining in different mines. The beginner one is in the Lechtenberry mine. As you get intermediate and advanced, it takes you to the more difficult mines. I don't think after 10 years you'd forget how to play. You'd probably just need extra practice to get back into form though. Though I never played an instrument myself. I mostly did like in school back when they allowed anything other than just the core educational things. Back when they taught things like music and art, and I would do things like that were choir and choral studies and music studies. I never really learned how to play a piano or a guitar or anything. Though I think if somebody gave me some music, it would take me a while to match the tones to the notes in my head, but I think I'd be able to read the music, and it's been over 10 years for me, so completely forgetting how to play an instrument doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Maybe if any of you have played instruments, because this implies that it was adults that played and then 10 years stopped playing. What we may need to do at this point is start hitting and taking down trees if we aren't run out of stamina by the end of the day. Just cutting any random tree that we come across that isn't a fruit tree. Ah, hey, look at that. I have everything we need. So let's see if he is out. He's in his house, so I can't give it to him because at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is unfair because that's much later than we got there, that house is not going to be open. But let's quickly go to bed before we get a... I think we're too late. We're probably going to have a sleepy icon anyway. But let's throw in our fodder. Oh, and I forgot to check on the new type of chicken. So, if it's unlocked, which I'm not sure if it is or not, then we might be able to get the chicken that lays green eggs, the Araucana chicken, I think is what it's called. Oh, good, 3 pollock. Even without any stars, that's still some good money right there. We're over 6,000. The bonuses to the town increase with the amount of money I've read. I haven't noticed it myself. But I believe it also caps out at like 20,000. Which, when you're at the point that you can catch the nidhogg, that's not as unreasonable as it sounds. See, we have the fish here. 3 regular tuna, 2 yellowfin tuna, which can be substituted for the tuna in the ahi poke, as well as big eye tuna and bluefin tuna. Any large size works for the grilled fish. So these sea bass, this barracuda, they're all considered jumbo. So that would work for the grilled fish. And that was our last day of spring. This will be our first day of summer and the end of our walkthrough. I think, yep, I've got a bunch of stuff in my pockets that we are not going to need at the moment. So let's clean out our pockets. We didn't need that, but I think we need all 3 of these to get them to start repairing the stage. There's nothing that we can do to make it faster to repair the stage. A lot of the other ones, it was like a, hey, do this and come back tomorrow. This one is going to be a, hey, do this and come back in a week. Which is the longest one that we will have to go through for this. See, and we're already at 25,950 gold. And that's just from making it a priority to fish a little bit every single day. If you really want to get your upgrades going, you can fish all day for a few days and gather up the money that you want. You absolutely do not have to push going through the story as fast as I do. I prefer to push my way through the story though, because it unlocks the things that I feel increase the quality of life of the game quite a bit. Like the upgrades for the axe and whatnot. I think it's having trouble getting to the feed, so let's see if I turn it a little bit, if that helps. Nope. Well, I have nothing to give it as appropriate food in my pockets right now, but we can fix that. Now, if you're having trouble maintaining feed for your animals, you can hand feed them any old crops that you've got. It does not have to be anything special. However, they will not eat eggplants. They are too hard for the horses to eat. So let me show you what happens when I try to feed him an eggplant. See, you cannot give that item to him. So, let's hold a carrot. And just one carrot fed him completely. We no longer need to wait for him to line up right with that feed box. But yeah, let's empty out our pockets so that we have room for some fish. We primarily were fishing off of the crossdock in order to get the tuna and the mahi-mahi. They are also fairly good-sized fish, and you can get decent money from catching them. I simply just prefer to go to the other dock because you do not need any food, or bait, I should say. They are generally much easier to catch, and I probably would do the cross dock if I had the master rod, because I wouldn't have to worry about luring the tuna closer to me so that I could, I guess we don't have to ride all the way down there. I do want to come at it from this area though to see if there's any coconuts. The coconut juice is a very quick and easy way to get a bonus for hot areas. We'll do our fishing, put all of this away, start making things in the kitchen, and then we'll grab our radish before, or not radish. There isn't radishes in this game. There are beets and there are turnips, but no radishes. But we will grab a turnip for our white horse to try to bribe him to be our friend. Now the other mount that you can get that is less picky about the areas is a unicorn, which is fine, but it's not as fast as the raptor. My daughter prefers the unicorn, but she is also a big unicorn fan. Also, bright colors. It's a big thing for little girls her age. Let's see if I can line this up a little better. With how picky that big one is, I'm hoping that it's a DLC fish. It's worth a lot more. Harder to catch. So if we can catch it, that'd be great, but because I do want to show it to you if we happen to catch one. See, and you can see just adding the fish this one time off this dock, we're already at 3 p.m. Part of that is because I was collecting all of those coconuts. Usually we'd just warp. We do have what you'd think is a lot of food until we start opening up the new mines. There's one particular in Herbstburg that I would like to at least get the warp point to when we go up and unlock the fixing of the stage area. And before I forget, I'm going to just go check on that chicken really quick. This will also enable me to put anything still in my pockets that don't need to be away and grab a turnip so that we can feed our white horse. We do need to probably head that way quickly because, like I said, it is not... Yeah, we haven't opened it yet. I think we need one full more star. We need to unlock the 4th one, I think. So let's grab our turnip. Go take a look at how our crops are growing. Looks like we've got one for pickup. And these are not ready yet. So it's already 5 almost. Let's go make friends with a white horse and then we will warp directly into Herbstburg. And we will spend the rest of the time trying to get to and unlock the Herbstburg mine. The Herbstburg mine, I do prefer it over the Lily Column mine. The Lily Column mine seems to have a lot more pits and a lot more rocks that fall. I think 1, maybe 2 more days and we should be able to switch out our horse. Once we can convince the white horse to come back with us, we'll release Red back into the wild. He can go back with his little friend that we found him with. Now, the white horse, it is located in multiple areas on the map. It's just this one is very close to a warp point. We don't have to travel very far from it to pet it, which is why it's my favorite one to tame. So now, there isn't very much to do here. We haven't unlocked a lot of the seeds because we're still in the 1st star. Where did my horse end up? It's probably down this way. Yep, there's Red. Hey, Red. We are going on a little trip. Now, Herbstburg is a little bit easier to open up past all of the locks. Depending on... Oh, this is just unlocking... This is the Herbstburg farm. If you move your farm here, it will increase the culture level of Herbstburg when you ship plants, which means we have another fence to open up and to build. But right now, we are going to go to the mine, and hopefully we will get there before it gets too late. These gray horses are faster than the brown horse, but not as fast as the white horse, which, if we're gonna go with another horse, we might as well get the really fast one. I think that was the tail of a wolf. Wolves also bring back rare items. I think it is... Maybe the wolves are the ore and the others are gems. Owls bring seeds, including rare seeds. Maybe I'll have to put together a tutorial on taming wild animals. So here is our first look at the Herbstburg mine. It's the same case where you're not going to have... Oh, moonstone, very first thing of moonstone. That's going to be a little more important. Same rules. The ones here in the hallways are going to more likely be ore or a pit. And it is only in the rooms. Is that a silver? No, that's a regular sized. So we're going to need 5 silver for each upgrade of the axe and the hammer and the pickaxe. It is not the same for the... See, there's a pit right there. And right there. For the watering can and the hoe, we've already got the expert level of the fishing pole. But for the master pole, I think we need a platinum and a titanium. Oh, stepped right onto that one. Hopefully... Okay, we have lots of coffee, so I'm going to use that even though we don't need the bonus there. So Damascus steel, we need a couple of those to further our storyline. Oh, well, good thing we ate some stuff because we are going to be stuck behind. I don't think... Oh, we can get around that. All right. Since we're not very far into the mine, that's just going to be the regular... bronze. And it's starting to get late, but we've gotten some very nice things on this walkthrough, including our very first look at the Herbstburg mine. Oh, we're lucky we didn't fall down that one. So, I think that's a pretty good day. Let's go ahead and call that the end of the walkthrough. I just wanted to take a moment to apologize that this wasn't as seamless of a playthrough as I was hoping because of the unfortunate event of losing my Switch and not having my game properly backed up. That was completely my fault that I didn't prepare for worst case scenario. I think we aren't going to wait so long if I ever have to get a new Switch, but by then I hopefully will be done with this walkthrough and moved on to something bigger and brighter and better. Let's sell our fish really quick. Now, I'm going to make a walkthrough or a tutorial specifically on money making, showing where the fish are, discussing which ones are the most valuable, which depends on where you're at in the game on which ones you'll want to go with or go for. Oh, and the last one, let's see. We're going to hang on to the moonstone and the Damascus steel. We probably can't get them, but we will get the topaz cut and sell that one when we next play. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you want to be notified when the next part of the walkthrough comes out, please subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or opinions on what type of tutorial, please feel free to leave a comment below. I always respond to all my comments. Thank you and have a great day.